Alright, I'm gonna try to explain how I got the rank 1 thieving record for 24 hours. We're gonna start at the most basic things and then try to work our way up from there and see how we do. Okay, so we're here in Ardy. Um, the first step you're gonna want to do is find the Ardy Knight. He's combat level 46, and there's multiple spawns here, but you're looking for the one in the southwest, okay? There he is. He'll spawn in this general area. Sometimes he walks in this building. But like generally speaking, if you just come to this area, you'll find him. So go ahead and tag him and just start walking west and south. And you can go inside these, like this picket fence right here and just kind of walk him along this building. And, you know, just keep walking south and you'll see the bank appear to the southeast. You want to walk right towards the entrance. You know, just continue walking. Don't stress out. Maybe bring some food with you in case he hits you for like a 6 or so. But once he's in the bank, just walk over to the counter, run over to the ladder, run up, and back down. And there you go. He's in the bank now. Okay, so now that we're in our happy place here in the bank, let's backtrack maybe a little bit and just explain why I'm using these flowers in the main hand. So the idea behind this is that every time you attack the knight, you're going to hit a 0. And the whole crux of this method relies on you being able to left-click pickpocket. And in order to achieve that, you have to stay below the combat level of the NPC you're trying to pickpocket. So as you can see, I'm combat level 42, so that means I can always left-click him. And using the flowers means I have negative attack bonuses, so as long as I equip these flowers and tag him, I will never gain any combat XP. So let's say you're going to stay here until like 200 million experience. You're probably going to have to tag a lot of knights, so you will save quite a bit of XP by equipping these flowers in your main hand. Okay, so now that we understand how to lure the knight, how to not get combat experience, how to get him to the bank, and generally just how to set up this method, let's talk about how to maintain the knight in the bank. Okay, so this guy, if he remains on the same tile for 5 minutes, he will actually despawn and go back to the town center. Okay, so you got to keep him preoccupied and you got to keep him moving, okay? So how do we keep the knight moving inside the bank? Okay, so the idea behind keeping him in the bank is that you want to keep him along this north wall and away from the ladder. And also away from the entrance. I mean, over here by the banking stations is fine, but ideally you want him to stay along this north wall. And if he goes anywhere beyond the north wall, like behind the ladder, what you need to do is you need to come back here and tag him. And then just walk away like you're normally setting the method up. And just like that, it's fixed. Okay, so you may ask, what do you mean keep him moving? And what I mean by that is that if he walks, like let's say for example, he walks into this corner where the gate is, or I mean like here for example, my character will most times block him from moving. It seems like it works all the time, but I can't 100% confirm that. But as long as you're standing in his way, he will not move in that direction. Let's see. So like, yeah, right here, we can actually somewhat trap him here, which is good because it means we don't have to really move our cursor a lot and we can just sit here and spam click or do whatever for 5 minutes. But you want him to move every 5 minutes. So yes, you do want him trapped, you also don't want him trapped, okay? So how do you go from a state of him being trapped to a state of him not being trapped? Okay, so you can choose to step away. That will work. I mean, it's kind of random when he'll decide to move, so it will be an XP loss if you want to sit here and just like not thieve him and move around to manipulate his movement. But what I've found is that if you just want to sit here and pickpocket, you can actually move your character, even if it doesn't look like he's moving, in between pickpockets. Okay, so I thief him, I see that I've pickpocketed him, and then I click on the stairs, or just anywhere in the other direction, and my character will continue thieving, but at the same time be moving away. So you see how he moves there? It's not gonna happen instantly, and sometimes he's very resilient and where he wants to stay, but that is the best method I found of keeping him moving every 5 minutes. It's just like you can kind of, you know, click on anything and it will affect your movement, but it only loses if you're able to time it right. You'll only lose one tick, and that one tick every 5 or so minutes is worth it, as opposed to having to go back to the town square and find the knight, then lure him back and, you know, do all that jazz. So I would say this part, it's maybe something not as well known, but the movement around the knight can definitely help you stay in rhythm and keep your experience rates as high as possible.